everyone. Dr. Tovar here with another Real Tick Talk for Chiromission. I am the VP of Chiromission, and I've been doing this series of Real Tick Talk with our past Chiromission veterans. And I had the pleasure of interviewing so many of what I call my friends, Chiromission family. So let's see if we can, definitely, I'm going to bring in my next guest today. Yes, let me see. I want to add, yes, always this little awkward, bring them in the camera. Why doesn't it let me? Jason. Doesn't let me bring you in the camera. How's that possible? I could add everybody else except you. So yes, so I have the awesome Dr. Jason Deitch, and he created AmpLIFEied, and he has done so many things, and I can't wait for him to come on. But I almost believe like this is part of the bloopers of the Chiromission Real TikTok. Bringing somebody live with him doesn't let me add on, so let me see right here. Let me see now. Doesn't let me click. Do you have something on your Facebook doesn't let you click? Guest requests. So maybe request to join, because he's the only one. I could add other people, but not him. He doesn't have a thing. I love it. Somebody help me, please. There we go. No? Okay, so I know you see me. So can you... I want to add you as I usually do every single time, but it doesn't... You don't have that add button. This is so crazy. I could wave at you. Yeah, I don't want to wave. I want to invite you. There we go. Oh, you did it. Awesome. Okay, so I have with me today another Chiromission veteran. He's been on our mission trips. And obviously, we always have this very spontaneous talk. Speaking about chiropractic and certainty in chiropractic. With me today, another Chiromission veteran. He's been on our... There you are. Hello. So good. Okay, so we did this, and every single time. Can you hear me? No. There we go. Yay.
Always a solution, huh?
Listen, I'm gonna make such a blooper awesome video. It's gonna have so many hits because every single time I interview, there's always some kind of a blooper, and I think it makes it even more fun. I need to laugh about it. How are you, Jason?
I'm good. My light's not that great. I can't see me so good. Let's come on out to the light. There we go.
Well, it's a beautiful.
Good to see you, Aura.
Where are you at? Same here. Are you in California? Hello? Hello?
You're coming in and out. I can hear you.
I think the
Wi-Fi I can hear you.
is, you need to stand in. You can hear me? Okay, perfect. So again, thank you for coming here, and just, I love to have you, and yes, it's been a little bit since I've seen you, so hope everything is great with you. Where are you? Are you in California?
I am in sunny, beautiful San Francisco, California. Yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Yeah, it's just there's...
You don't hear me?
I feel. Now I hear you. See,
yeah.
Just sometimes you freeze or something.
All right.
Facebook.
I'll stay right here. I'm not moving.
There, say hi. Good, please, yes. If you have any questions for us, again, my name is Dr. Tovar with Chiromission, and I have one of my awesome friends and past Chiromission veterans, Dr. Jason Deitch, and I hope I said that last name good. I butchered every single time. And he is the creator of AmpLIFEied, and we are here to talk some real tech and just be raw for a little bit, because I feel I put in the description that something is missing in our profession, and we're gonna just hit on that because I feel we need a little bit of to fill in the blanks so we can be more unified and have more certainty and really go out there to what we need to do. But do tell the audience and whoever is listening a little bit about yourself so they know.
Well, let's see. I've been for the past 30 plus years. Yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me? Do you not hear me?
Just delayed, yeah.
You can hear
And
me?
now I hear you, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. For the past 30 some odd years, I've been trying to help the profession get our message out to the masses. It started, I was in practice for almost 10 years here in Northern California. Then went on a journey to write a book called Discover Wellness, How Staying Healthy Can Make You Rich. And when Facebook and social media came out, I realized this was really our profession's best friend. It's the internet or inner network or nerve system of our planet. And we really should be learning how to use that tool, obviously to be consistent with our profession altogether, as a way to get our message out to as many people as possible. So that's what I've been doing for the past several years. I created a project called AmpLIFEied, which has been for many years a free professional service. Recently, we had to go to a subscription model. And now we are, based on sort of the feedback we keep getting from the profession, we're building out and launching a new done-for-you type program because chiropractors love the idea but don't really want to do what's necessary to get the job done. So we're launching a brand new project called Unmarket Your Practice. You can go to Unmarket.
You froze. Hello.
On with our profession.
Oh no.
And how can chiropractic be and yet maintains
Jason,
and continues to be so small?
You're cut off. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got cut off there. So we heard unmarket your practice, at least that's what I heard. And then you were speaking about describing it, and then we saw your beautiful face, but we couldn't hear you.
All right. So that's really, I think, the premise of where our profession is and where it needs to go. We have, I think, gotten very caught up in the mindset that we need more new patients now. We've gotten caught up in I think, scarcity mindset. And I think that's become a unfortunate self-fulfilling prophecy that people continue to not understand and embrace and appreciate the value of what chiropractic care offers. And in many cases, it's because we as a profession aren't doing, obviously, a good enough job explaining to them what it really is. And most of that is done under the rationale that we need to, quote, market our practices in order to get new patients in the door. And that typically means that there's some sort of low special offer for some sort of musculoskeletal relief is what most people put in their ads. And although, yes, a few people come into the door as a result of that, the rest of the world is left with, I think, a question of what is really offered in a chiropractor service. And there's a long-term cost to our need for a short-term benefit of more patients in our office today.
Okay, so I totally hear you. And honestly, at least I speak for myself. That's not the kind of patients I want to have anyhow. So if that's how we're marketing, we are hitting the wrong target, and it's not what's going to make us happy in practice and giving our best to patients. Because honestly, being in practice for 20 years, when I have more than 3 people complaining about pain during a day, it drains me. So I don't, at least me, for myself, I don't like that kind of practice. So yes, I feel that what you're saying is hitting their values, so they value chiropractic as part of their life, not only for pain relief, because obviously it's going to be eventually some parts it's going to be for that, but just as part of their lifestyle, just like drinking good water and getting enough rest. So do you think what is the missing link in our education process?
Well, just to clarify, do you mean the educational process chiropractors get as chiropractors, or the education process that people in our community get?
Now, I'm not talking about education in schools. Let's not get into that subject, okay?
Great.
Yeah.
So,
No.
so
Yeah.
I think
Just
that
like the people, the way that we are communicating the message to our patients, the way that we're communicating the message in social media. What do you think is missing?
I think what's missing is some context. And what I mean by that is, um, you know, we say as a profession, and I'm stereotyping, I'm speaking generally. There will be somebody that goes, I don't say that. I'm speaking in general. Like yourself, many people say that they want to have long-term relationships with their patients, clients, members, community, however you want to refer to them. However, our conversation tends not to attract and or even create the opportunity for long-term relationships. You can make the metaphor, since you talk about getting naked all the time, and this maybe fits the context. If you're the kind of person that's looking for a long-term relationship, the conversation of a short-term one night type of relationship would not lead, in most cases, most of the time, to the type of person looking for a long-term lifestyle type relationship. That there's really kind of two categories. If you're looking for instant gratification and quick relief, that's kind of one conversation. For more longer term relationships, you're really saying different things in different places that would attract a more longer term relationship. Our challenge, I think, collectively as a profession, and again, I'm speaking generally, is that we expect long term results with short term conversation. When we, quote, meet people where they are, and I understand the concept of all of that, then they're not really getting the full understanding of what it is that we do. Now, I understand the arguments. The arguments are, well, you got to get them in the door for what they want, and then you can teach them.
Yep.
And for many years, that was true, but here's why I don't think it has the same level of truth as it used to. I didn't say it's not true. I'm saying it doesn't have the same level of truth as it used to for several reasons. Number one, for decades, people had health insurance, or what you might think of as financial aid, to make it easier for them to say yes to your care in
Mm-hmm.
decades past. In today's world, most people have such high deductibles, if they even have insurance or financial aid altogether, that there's a whole new level of value that needs to be built from the get-go. So you don't have the same luxury of 12 visits, 24 visits, or more, often at a very cheap price for the patient, client, person, that allowed you the ability to create rapport, develop relationship, and, quote, educate them along the way. In the old world, when they had great coverage and they could start up without much financial investment and they were focused on feeling better soon, you had the luxury to build up that relationship. That's the first issue. The second issue is, again, for decades past up until recently, there was really no mechanism besides live workshops, which the largest practices in history did to become the largest practices in history. But there really weren't other opportunities for people to get to learn about you, get to know you, get to connect with you, get to understand what not just chiropractic is, but what makes you as a chiropractor unique than the chiropractor down the street. So that's the second thing, is that we now have this thing called social media and social networks. And our protocol at Unmarket Your Practice addresses exactly this concept, which is to think of building what we call a health tribe, a tribe of local people that believe what you believe. And our protocol is really designed to help you as a doctor, or I'd like to think more of you as a community leader, somebody whose first job is to inspire as many people as possible to want to live a healthier life. Second job is to adjust those that agree with you and come into your office, not the other way around, in my opinion. That if you build a tribe of people online, just as you have people watching you now and watching you later who may have never
Yeah.
met you before, but connect with you this way. This is the way of the world right now. Wherever you are, if there's another person in the room or in your site, I'm putting money down that they're probably staring at a mobile device right now or a desktop. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I am saying that's the world we're living in right now. And if that's the case, we should be taking full advantage of that. So by creating, think of it as a content posting strategy. And again, we have a specific protocol. How do you welcome people to your tribe? How do you then invite them to subscribe to your tribe? How do you then follow up with them and share what content, how often, to what audiences, on what frequency? And then
Wouldn't
how do you let as many people as possible know about your tribe?
mhm.
Those are the questions we answer in that program.
Wouldn't it be like a niche market per se? So you transmit the value that those people have, and those are that's going to be your tribe instead of so generalized. It needs to be more like a niche, and every I don't know. This is my version of I don't even know because your thing is new, so I
You're
don't know
saying
much
it
about.
correct.
But it is like finding the niche of that doctor and marketing to those people so they hear your message, they trust you because you're creating value in their lives even though they haven't given you a penny, and then they can then trust you to come closer to your circle, refer to you, or whatever that is. But it is becoming more so simple, more streamlined, right, towards a certain
Yeah,
audience.
you're 100% correct. And this is the third issue. I think that's the issue or concern with the profession right now. And that is that most chiropractors communicate as if they are a commodity. So they communicate chiropractic. This is a problem, and I know most people are going, what in the world are you even talking about? But let me make it crystal clear. You and I know each other many years. There are people watching that may know me. If we met for the first time and I said to you, oh, you're a chiropractor, I'm a chiropractor, what does that tell you about me? Do you know anything about the way I practice? Does it tell you whether I adjust or don't adjust? Does it tell you whether I take care of families or specialize in upper cervical technique only for particular symptoms? Does it tell you whether I do or don't accept insurance, do or don't have family plans, recommend short-term care plans or long? You know nothing about what I do. In fact, it might even make you even more confused because you'd think you know what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem, is because most marketing communicates the commodity of chiropractic. And here's sort of my challenge to everybody. If people were buying chiropractic, the commodity, not the chiropractor as in you specifically, what makes you unique. If people were just buying the commodity of chiropractic, my question for everyone is then why would anybody drive past 1, 2, 12, 100 chiropractors to get to your office? When people are buying a commodity, they look for the cheapest, closest option. That's simple. When you go to buy a flight to go travel somewhere, I assure you, unless you were flying private, that you didn't even consider who the pilot was in making your decision about whether
Mm-hmm.
you should buy that flight or not. Is it close? Is it cheap? Maybe you're deciding, should I get extra comfort? Maybe should I get first class? But you're buying a commodity of getting from point A to point B. Okay? At best, you use loyalty points so you can accumulate miles. It has nothing to do with the professional service being provided. And that's the difference here. Is marketing is great. It's wonderful. But if you're a professional, I think we're held to a different standard. That doesn't mean everybody's going to agree with me. They don't have to. You keep talking about yourself as a commodity all you want to. And when I meet people and they go, oh, I went to a chiropractor. Yeah, what's their name? Oh, God, what's their name? What's their name? Yeah. Happens, unfortunately, all the time
Time.
because they're selling the commodity. And what my statement for everybody is, people buy professionals, not professions. that there is a reason people come to you and not the chiropractor down the street, down the road, or the one they could easily find on Google with a cheaper offer than you're probably offering. That when it comes to professional services, people are looking for the best they can afford, not the cheapest they can find. So it's a different model. You sort of either philosophically go, that makes sense to me, or no, I just need more new patients now because I'm about broke.
No, no. And I always feel like that leaky bucket is so draining. I don't like it. So I prefer to turn a patient down that is not going to buy into the program and really be a good patient than to keep them and then be almost resentful that I'm like, oh my God. You know, so I love to refer to other chiropractors and say, you know what, this is probably not the right office for you. Just because
Yeah.
my personality is strong, and the older you get, the more the less I
Well, so
tolerate. But a question about that program that you have, just
yeah,
maybe because
yeah,
somebody in the audience might have the same crazy
go ahead.
mindset. So how would you make it more niche to that chiropractor, or so it could be marketed to the right audience, and that would be the right person that audience will connect to in order to do services and do business with?
Yep. So again, I'm going to kind of go through the protocol at a high level to answer exactly what you're asking. The first step is to go through what we call your welcome process, is letting people know that your Facebook page is more than just some advertising tool, that you actually have value on what we think of as your health tribe or Facebook family, that there's a reason to come to connect with you on whatever social network of choice. Let's just call it Facebook for now, but it applies to all of them. So that's the first step, is come join me and become part of our community. We're dedicated to inspiring people daily and sharing inspirational messages to help you live your best life. Okay? That's the first date. And the objective of the first date is to get a second date. Okay? It's not to share your life story on the first date. It's just to get an opportunity to get a second chance to follow up and connect with you, and let's get to know each other better. Okay? It's on that second date, so to speak, metaphorically, right? You've welcomed them. They've now subscribed to your tribe on Facebook or whatever channel you use. Now you create what's called a content posting strategy. And this is exactly where we do what you're talking about. What makes you out of different than Jason in Minnesota, than my chiropractor down the street? And so we coach you through, how do you think about sharing your unique story? You have a different technique, you have a different touch, you have a different philosophy, you have a different way of recommending either only adjustments and or lifestyle recommendations. Give people the opportunity to get to learn from you enough that they go, she's
Mm-hmm.
very down to earth. This makes complete sense to me. I'm curious to learn more. They then either start care or end up at an upcoming workshop or event that you host. So there's a get to know you period or process that you're going to attract a tribe of people that you resonate with. You're very clear on this, Ara. You're like, listen, if it doesn't feel right, you should go somewhere that does feel right, for your sake and for mine.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that we're not for everybody and everybody's for us. I had one patient tell me one time, I never forget this story, is stuck in my head. His name is Michael. He said, I want to tell you, Dr. Tovar, he pulled me aside. I was adjusting a bunch of patients. He got adjusted and he said, I want to tell you that I'm never coming back. And I was like, okay, why? He goes, you smile too much. And I feel that is not the kind of office I want to be. You smile, you laugh, you hug. And he was a lawyer and very stuffy. And I was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me that. And I can refer you to somebody else. Let me walk you to the front. Let the staff know what's happening. And I'll be glad to send you to somebody that is more serious.
That's
You know,
exactly the deal. And
it
and
had never
and
happened to me, but he taught me that I am
yeah,
not for everybody. And it's
that's right.
okay.
That's
Totally
right.
okay. Big thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Whatever you're at.
And
Okay, so now get back to Chiromission, because I know you work
yeah,
one-on-one trips. And if you can tell people a little bit about your experience, and maybe some people are on the fence of jumping in on a mission trip, or they have doubts, or they think it's something that is not. So maybe from your raw point of view, which I love,
Yeah,
you
thank you.
tell them what's your experience and what you can tell our audience about it.
I'm going to say at some level, it's chiropractic the way we've all dreamt it, which is, not dealing with all of what I'll call sort of the Americanization of the legal issues, the insurance issues, the financial issues, the stuff that in many cases just steals the spirit of what it is that we're really doing in most cases, most of the time. That it's just an opportunity to be of service, to get real, to get raw, to get back to basics of serving people and providing them something that they just don't have access to necessarily in their culture where they live. It is one of those just sort of mutually win-win, mutually rewarding type of experiences. They benefit from it. Something is better than nothing. I know there's arguments to a lot of these issues. Well, if you're not setting up a clinic for the rest, okay, something's better than nothing, I believe. And there is consistency to all of that. It's a wonderful thing. And I think it's a way to be able to be of service. Like any kind of professional mission trip, you're there to provide your gift to people that just for whatever reason don't have the luxury, the ability, the exposure to be able to get, the gift that God has given you, and that I think most of you are on this planet to share with as many people as possible, and in his most generous way you can.
Yeah,
Besides the
I think.
fun, besides being in a foreign country, besides being with other, inspirational, incredible, great chiropractors like your team and everybody, it's a phenomenal, incredible, and for many people, life-changing experience.
Yeah, I think it's the way you said it. You give and you receive back is such a gift, and I feel one of the biggest gifts, at least we give chiropractors when we facilitate these trips for them, is to get out of your head, because sometimes we are so in our heads, and I feel that our biggest block in practice is ourselves. So
Yeah,
and it's just all these things that we put, and it just simplifies. It's like a wash over. It's like I get naked, right? You just remove all that and just let that light shine, which
yeah,
shines brightly with or without you. So I just feel we get out of the ways. That's why probably hence the only reason I'm still involved in mission work after 10 years in a nonprofit way. So yeah, probably just because I get something back in return by seeing how many people we help, and by seeing the change in the chiropractors that go, and the volunteers, right? And volunteers
yeah.
turn into chiropractors because of that experience. But I love what you were saying about your program. I can't wait for it
Thank
to
you.
come out. I'm definitely
Thank
gonna.
you.
I want somebody to market to my niche, which is kind of crazy, but I'm sure there's some crazy that that would value me for what I have to give, and I will value them for the way that they want to receive it, and buying into lifestyle chiropractic care and the lifestyle kind of relationships, which I love. Isn't it all about relationships? I love
It's exactly.
relationships. I'm so grateful that you're one of my relationships that I've met through Chiromission and in this journey through chiropractic, as colorful as has been. And I'm grateful for all the nuggets when you speak. I always like, So
Thank you.
thank you for that. Thank you for being part of this conversation. If we're going to put the link to your thing, and I'm going to put the link to Chiromission also in the comments below, share it to your page, share it to others that don't know about this awesome new program that he's coming up with, as well as share it with your friends if you don't know about Chiromission and you would like to come on one of our trips. We're here to serve, to communicate, to open the channels, and to come together, because that's what this platform does for us, right? So I am super
Exactly.
grateful. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, you're terrific. Keep it up. Love your enthusiasm. Everybody should be taking notes. This is how it's done. We are attracted to people because of their energy, their vibration. You're a shining star. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't be lost.
Yeah,
I hope to see you soon in our
me
circles.
too.
Very, very
Me
soon.
too.
And I can
Me too.
hear about your program. Sounds great. I want a niche market. I want it. You see, you hear from chiropractors. We want somebody to market us in our niche way. So they speak our language and we grab the people that understand our words. So
That's the
awesome.
new way.
Thank you. Love and appreciate you.
Love you
Ciao.
too. Thanks for watching, everyone.